Hi, I'm Larry Koonse for EliteGuitarist.com, and what you just heard was an example of comping over a jazz blues. And there's all these new voicings that I'm going to get into and I'm about to explain to you. And we're going to take it in a very detailed way. And you should probably print out your PDF so you can follow along with this. There's some chords here that are probably going to stretch the known boundaries of what you have inside of your concept theoretically, because some of this stuff is way beyond maybe what should be included in a beginner's package. But I want you to get into some of the meat of this even if you don't understand it. So I'll give you a brief explanation of some of this stuff, but we won't get too in depth because there's too many steps. Nevertheless, the sound is really important, and I really want you to have some of this. So let's start from the very beginning here. We're going to use several substitution ideas, and I'm going to go over those substitution ideas. In other words, a substitution is a chord that you wouldn't see in an original progression. It's a chord that's added because it's possible to bridge certain chords together with other motions. Okay, so let's start with a really general overview of this blues that I just played for you, this comping voicing example. So what we've been dealing with in the beginner package up to this point is a blues that has a traditional sort of R&B sort of feel to it, 1, 4, 5. A jazz blues expands on that just a little bit. So a typical jazz blues starts with a 1 chord, just like an R&B blues, and then goes to a 4 chord, and then back to that 1 chord. In bar 5, it goes back to the 4 chord, like we did before. Now here's where a jazz blues is a little different. In bar, what would that be? That would be bar 8 and 9. There's a connection to the last 4 bars of the blues that is different than your typical R&B blues. So what I have to do in order to explain that connection is I have to sometimes go ahead. So let's look at the last 4 bars of a jazz blues. The last 4 bars of the blues that you were working on previous was C7 going to a B flat 7 going to an F7, all right? A jazz blues takes that C7 and moves it over a bar. So instead of that C7 being in the 4th to the last bar and then going to B flat 7, the C7 is now preceded by a G minor 7. So where you see that C7 in the progression, now you're going to see a G minor 7.